everyone, so I'm Taseer from Pakistan, and since everyone has been talking about the stories of traveling, so this is my story as how I ended up in Germany. So I'm a fresh engineer after graduating, and I have a okay job, which we don't like usually. So nothing much is happening, so I decided to move to Germany. So ideally, the best choice is to move to TU Munich for obvious reasons. However, it has the most strict rules for giving admission to people from Southeast Asia and China. So in order to get admission in TU Munich, you must have a very good grade point average or GPA, which I already had, no doubt about that. A very good GRE and an exceptional research essay, which was also not a problem because I had the right connections to write one. So I only had to ace my GRE test, and I failed miserably. And I failed miserably in the GRE test. Like I was in whole other league. Like there is some good score, and there is some average score, and there is 50 feet of crap, and then you will find me. So that's not the end of the world, so I decided to apply to many other different universities across Germany, TU Berlin, Dortmund, Passau, Siegen, in computer science obviously. However, they rejected me all. They all rejected me with one reason, and it was the same across, because in my bachelor's I chose computer engineering, which is half computer science, half electronics. So I did not fulfill all the requirements to be accepted for a computer science program. However, I found this one university that was also providing an English program for computer engineering, which I did not like, but that was my only shot to come to Germany. So I apply and I get the admission. Now this was the easy part, now comes the harder part, to get the visa. So I applied from Pakistan. So I got the admission in February 2018, and all the appointments until July had been booked for the visa. Now the way it works was, the reason that it was so tight is booking of appointment, because we are a nation of 200 billion, and there were obviously billions like me who were trying to get to Germany. The other reason was that there were only 2 visa issuing authorities for Pakistan. And third, there were some people who made living out of this booking system. So there would be fake agents who would book appointments with fake accounts and fake passport numbers, and then they would literally sell it to people who really needed them. Now the way it worked was that every night at 3 a.m. Pakistan time, the slots for the next appointment would appear. And for 4 weeks, I literally tried every night to book an appointment, and I failed miserably at that as well. So the time was really running out. So one day I came up with a plan. So I asked all of my family members to stay up until 3 a.m. for just 5 minutes so that we can increase the chances for me getting through. So we all sit down until 3 a.m. and we all try to book it at the same time. I failed, my brother failed, my father failed. However, I got lucky because one of my brothers was also in Germany, And since he was closer to the servers, I think he got And now I finally had an appointment 3 months from now. Now comes the other part where I had to open a blocked account and submit around 8,000 euros to cater for my expenses in Germany. So the safest and the most reliable way was to open a bank account in Deutsche Bank. And the way this process worked was to have another appointment in the German embassy. No, this was not very difficult. They were appointed. So I booked the first appointment. I go to the official. They look at my documents and they say, "Are you missing something?" I say, I don't think so." He says, "Think again." So I think harder this time. And I find out that I've forgotten the bank statements that show the proof that I really do have the money to open the bank account. So she sends me back and tells me that book another appointment and come with all the documents. So after 2 weeks, I get another appointment. This time I go with all of the documents. No problem this time from the embassy side. They stamp and seal the envelope and I courier it to Germany. 1 week later, Deutsche Bank sent me an email. Your application is rejected. The reason is there was this one blank that I left, like it was not filled, and it was something like how much money your family will give you once you come to Germany. Now being an engineer, I have to think rationally, and since most of the people come there with 1 year expenses and they start some student jobs and they cater for their expenses out of that student job, I thought I could just leave it empty. However, the Deutsche Bank did not think so. So they rejected me. So I booked an appointment for the 3rd time, and this time they changed their form. They added additional fields to provide evidence of all the financial statements that I provide, how much of it is coming from your family, how much of it is coming from the loans, etc., etc. And no matter how hard I try, there is still one blank missing. I cannot do anything, so I just go and submit the forms again, courier it to Deutsche Bank again. 1 week later, I get another rejection. You just missed this one field, so we are rejecting you again. Fortunately, there were other banks that were providing the service, so I decided to go with them. Now this was very easy. Within 1 week, I opened a blocked account. I wish I knew that before. Finally, I have all the documents required to go for my appointment at the German embassy. It's the 23rd of July, and since you are not from Pakistan, it is the season for monsoon. And it really rains cats and dogs there, unlike in Germany. So it's 5 a.m. in the morning, and my dad decided to give me a lift until the embassy, and it starts raining. And the embassy is like an hour drive from my home. 15 minutes in, our car breaks down, and it won't start. So my only option is to call an Uber. I called one, he said, "No problem, I'm just coming." 2 minutes later, he gave me the call, "Sorry, my car has broken down." I call another Uber, "No problem." 2 minutes later, my car is broken down. So I have to reach the embassy at 8 a.m. and it's already 30 past 6. I tried many Ubers and they all kept saying that their car broke down. So I got out of the car, and there was a puddle right up to this height, and it was raining cats and dogs. Within 5 minutes, I was completely soaked, looking out for help, if someone could give me a lift. And finally, some kind-hearted man decided to give me a lift, but only halfway through the way. I just took it and switched to a taxi, and finally reached a shuttle service that was operated by the government of Pakistan. So we were not allowed to go to the embassy by ourselves. Rather, we had to check into that bus terminal. They would see whether we really have the confirmation to go to the embassy. And after that, they would issue us a ticket by which we would board the bus and then finally reach our embassy. So I reached there just in time. There is a queue of about 40 people, all standing to have their lives changed by coming to Germany. After 4 hours of waiting, I finally get my turn. I go into the embassy, and there are 2 people sitting at the counter, and they are just double checking my documents just to make sure that everything is fine. They are just going through the documents, and they see that I do not fulfill all the requirements. So every photocopy needs to be in A4 size, but my identity card, I had cut it through to just. So he said that this is not permissible, and there was no photocopy machine around. So he told me to go back to the shuttle service where there were photocopying machines. And then so it took me another hour to get that one piece of paper. Finally I came, and the visa process was finally done. Now coming back to work, we were finally we were a service-oriented company, and we did not have much to do for a couple of months. And finally we had something to work on, and the management decided to put the most inexperienced people on that project, one of them being me. So we are sitting with the client, and he is just, by the way, asked me, how much experience do you have? And I, being honest, I say I have 0 experience. 2 days later, the project got cancelled. Now the management did not tell the truth that it was because of me. There would be many issues, but they said it the way that all the blame was on me. I still did not have the visa, and I decided to quit my job. I was hoping it turns out well, and I think a week later I finally got my visa, and I was here in Munich. But as I told earlier, I was admitted in the University of Paderborn, which is out in the middle of nowhere, and it was very boring. As soon as I arrived in Munich, I decided to do some experiment. So I updated my LinkedIn and put in all the buzzwords in the technological area, and updated my location to Munich, Germany. Within a few hours, the recruiter started reaching out to me. And I thought it not a good idea after all to continue my studies. However, I started getting some interviews, most of the companies here in Munich, while I was studying in Paderborn. I don't know how it happened, but there was one company who was desperate to hire someone. Despite knowing that I was like halfway across Germany, and they decided to give me a contract. And I was foolish enough that I accepted it. So we reached some kind of an agreement as to how often I would travel and something like that. After 2 to 3 times of travel, I decided to end this. So the way a normal person would do he would go up to his manager and say that I'm tired of all this traveling and I would like to quit my job. I did it the other way around. I said, I'm tired of this traveling, I'm quitting my master's, but you give me a full-time employment. Well, he was just taken aback and he decided to offer me full-time employment. I took it, and the next day I had the blue card. And finally I made my way to Munich, and I think it has been worth every risk that I have taken.